As I'm recording this video, we're still waiting for the verdict from the jury against the two brothers at Manchester Airport accused of attacking the three police officers in July last year, and also attacking, headbutting and punching another man in front of his wife and three kids at Starbucks in the airport earlier. But while we're waiting for the verdict from the jury, a new video has emerged by the ticket machine at Manchester Airport's terminal, which shows what took place from a different angle. Let's just watch that together. So you can see here there's three police officers. There's one male police officer and two female police officers. It's not very apparent that they're female police officers yet, but it will become more apparent later. The male police officer is trying to arrest the guy in the hoodie who was the one who headbutted and punched that man in front of his wife and three kids at Starbucks. The two female police officers are trying to grab his arms, presumably to put handcuffs on him, but they're struggling. The brother in the black t-shirt is trying to rescue his brother. You can see the mother is just coming over from the left of the picture. Do you see her? He goes, the brother in the black t-shirt goes round the female police officers who still haven't managed to contain the guy in the hoodie, and starts punching the male police officer in the back of the neck. And meanwhile, the guy in the hoodie kicks the male police officer. The female police officers still haven't contained him. And then he starts lashing out at the female police officers. Look, no regard that, these are not these are not men, these are just women. And he's just like punching them left, right, and centre and knocking them over. They're absolutely no match for him. Then he comes over and punches the male police officer in the back of the neck, who's just about managed to get his taser out to contain the other brother. And look at the mother. I think she's clapping for them. I don't want to talk about the brothers because we're still waiting for the verdict from the jury, and I've talked about them in my previous videos. But what is apparent from that video to me is that the female police officers appear to struggle with the physical demands of the situation. And rather than assisting their male colleague, they're actually impeding him. And we see this time and time again. I mean, there's a lot of male police officers who are not physically fit to match the situation, to be able to cope with these kind of violent situations. But even more amongst the female police officers, and yet they keep putting these female police officers with male colleagues. And I don't think it's helping the male police officers. It's actually putting them more at risk. If you're a male police officer, or even if you're a female police officer, let me know your thoughts on this. But another thing that I wanted to talk about was the actual reactions at the time, just like going over those. So let me play you this one. This is Adnan Hussain, the MP with Pakistani heritage, one of the independent MPs. Look how he was trying to jump on the bandwagon of police brutality at the time.
I've been inundated with messages of concern and upset from my constituents following the horrific images that have come.
So none of his constituents were concerned about the attacks against the man in front of his wife and three kids in Starbucks. None of his constituents were concerned about these two brothers punching and beating up female police officers in an airport. None of his constituents were concerned about that. We don't want to see scenes like this in an airport. We want to feel safe in an airport.
From Manchester Airport. I myself am deeply concerned with what can only be described as a complete abuse of power. Again, will the leader join me in assuring the general public that we should never have to witness such scenes of violence?
Yes, we should never have to witness such scenes of violence. But he's barking at the wrong tree. We don't want to go to Starbucks. We don't want to go to an airport and see these sort of scenes. We don't want to. We don't want these people that think they're above the law to create these sort of situations. We want these people arrested, charged, and imprisoned. We don't want them around.
Where no authority is above the law, and that all necessary.
No authority above the law. But what about these two brothers that think they're above the law? Do they really think they can just walk into a Starbucks in an airport and beat up a man in front of his wife and three kids? Another Muslim man beat him up in front of his wife and three kids, then beat up 2 female police officers.
Measures must be taken to investigate how and why such an incident arose, and for the general public to be reassured generally.
Look, okay, you could say that, you know, at the time he hadn't seen the whole thing, he'd made the mistake, but I've looked at his Twitter account and everything. I can't see him saying that he regretted what he said at the time. I can't see anything that says he made a mistake, but not by not finding out all the facts before making those statements in the Parliament. And look at this. This was the reaction by the usual mob at the time. So straight away, they saw the first clip without doing any fact findings, without waiting for all the facts to emerge. They were on the streets. They had a cause to protest. Have they been back on the streets again to condemn the 2 brothers for attacking a man in front of his wife and 3 kids at Starbucks? Have they been back on the street again to condemn the 2 brothers for beating up 2 female officers, or beating up the 3 police officers in an airport? You know, why are they only on the streets for certain causes, for certain politics of causes? And this was the reaction by another MP, Paul Wall, I think how you pronounce his name. At the time, he came up with a statement on his Twitter: "My statement on the Manchester airport incident. This video footage of a Greater Manchester police officer kicking and stamping on a man in Manchester airport is truly shocking and disturbing. Like many who've seen this clip, I'm extremely concerned. I've had it confirmed that the man arrested is a Rochdale resident, and I've talked to his family this evening. I plan to meet them in person tomorrow." Again, I can't see anything on his social media accounts that say he made a mistake at the time. Look, it takes a big man to apologise, to say he's wrong. And I don't see these people ever saying that they're wrong. I mean, has he been to see the family of the man who was beaten up in front of his wife and 3 kids? Has he been to see the family of the 2 female police officers that were beaten up by the ticket machine at the airport? No, nothing. And I want to end this video with this still image. How many points can you raise about what is wrong with Britain just from this one picture? Let me know in the comments all the things that comes to your mind that's wrong with Britain at the moment when you see this picture. Thanks for watching.